Okay, I'm at OPT headquarters with Yaya, and I'm gonna.
Oh, you're recording it?
Yeah, because this is I gotta drop more fucking wisdom on everybody.
Is this gonna be a podcast?
Yeah, dude. Okay, so Yadani is also a Bieber fan, like hardcore since day one. She's a belieber. She's validated. I validated her. Trust me. Okay, you can't just come up in here and claim to be a belieber.
Nope.
All right. So she is certified validated belieber. Okay. She can also attest to the fact that I am a certified validated belieber. And when his new album came out, we listened to it here, and she will confirm that I cried when I listened to the song Glory.
Yes.
So this is like, I wanted to share this with her as a fellow validated, certified day one believer. But I want to talk this out because, like, this is why music and movies and inner psychology is so not only meaningful to me, it always like rocks me to my core. So I want to start it off by I would say like a month, maybe almost 2 months ago, I rewatched the movie Hook. Mm-hmm. And I did a whole thing about what Hook is actually about is the revivification of the lost parts of you from childhood. Like the parts that you kill off, put away, or society tells you to grow up. Oh, you need to mature. You need to be an adult. And which kind of bounces off of what I talked about last night with the enthusiasm, excitement, and joy. Where as you age and as you enter adulthood, people become, and they don't even know they're doing it. Mm-hmm. Like they just become like every other person. And then they try to cling on to fashion or insert any stupid fucking external thing to be like, no, look, I'm different. It's like, no, you're not. You're the exact same as every other fucking person for the most part. So when I watched Hook, I got super emo because not only was it one of my favorite movies growing up, but I think a lot of people have a hard time with not only who I am, how I live, how I express myself, but they don't understand. Like, I'm like, you don't get it. When you're on your deathbed, you're going to be like, damn, I should have been more self-expressed. I should have been more had more enthusiasm in my life. I should have tried more things. I should have not worried about what other people think about me. Right. So what happens is people value these things. Let's just use money in this case where it's like, oh, if I have enough money, then I can do whatever it is that I want. Or I have a certain amount of money, so I have to act, dress, talk, be a certain way. And I'm like, no, dude, I'm just going to be me no matter what. And I just don't care. Mm-hmm. Part of that is how I've been my entire life. Part of that is the ceremonial work that I've done. And like, part of that is interacting with thousands of people over the last 22 years and being like, oh, I would never want this to be in my life. Or I would never want to treat people like that. Or I would never want whatever thing that I'm like, nah, that doesn't feel good for me.
Right.
So the Hook was like that, is like going back and learning how to bring enthusiasm, joy, childlike wonder and awe and open-mindedness to your adult life in the present moment. Mm. It doesn't mean you have to act like a complete idiot or a complete clown, but don't be so stiff. Don't be so worried about judgment. Don't be so worried about being accepted and fitting in, right?
Mm-hmm. Just the innocence of being a kid.
Correct. Like, and that could be with anything. That goes back to what I was saying with the enthusiasm and the joy. It's like, I'm going to be excited, joyful, loud, enthusiastic, no matter what, whether it's a taco on 35th and McDowell, freaking the baby sandwich I made, the baby sandwich, the GTL, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I'm also, and I told you this too, there's only like 3 songs on Justin Bieber's new album that I'm like, it's even good. And everyone's like, it's so good. I'm like, no, it's not good. You don't have a good taste in music. And what happens is when you become a superstar, you're surrounded by yes men and you can put out absolute dog shit and people are going to think, oh my God, this is so good. And I remember telling you, and you were like, no, the album's good. I'm like, no, it's not. Go back and listen to Changes. Go back and listen to Purpose.
Right.
Go back and listen to those albums. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Now, I understand artists evolve and artists change. But what happens is, if you are not in tune with what it is that got you started in the first place, you lose touch of that, right? So again, I still love Justin Bieber, but that doesn't mean I have to be like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. It'd be like me just putting together a bullshit workout, knowing that it's a bullshit workout and knowing that people are like, damn, this is a good workout. But it's like, it's not a good workout. But I have, I take pride in that and, whatever, right? So anyways, so then all these videos, because Yadania is going to Coachella, and the main reason she's going is because Bieber is going to be there.
Biebercella.
Biebercella.
Biebercella, baby.
So all these videos are coming out now of his set. And I was like crying watching some of this, because just like 2 months ago, I was telling y'all, because Justin Bieber stays on my playlist rotation.
Always.
And I was like, man, you know what I wish? I wish that Justin Bieber would go back and play like some of his very first songs, like ever.
Yeah.
Like songs that were like Baby, like Never, like what are some of your other Never Say Never, like
Stuck in the Moment,
like
You Smile,
like all these old
his journals album.
God, his
like,
yeah.
Tight, All That Matters.
So I was like, I wish more artists would do that. And Yadania was like, yeah, but this is not, I'm true. This is where I fucking tell Ya, she's a fucking hater. She's like, no, he's older now. Why would he do that? And I'm like, yes, you did. No, you gave me fucking shit. No, and I was like, yes, you did. Because we had an argument about it. And I said, why wouldn't he? These are the songs that made him fucking famous. Why wouldn't he? Why don't more artists do this? And you gave me all kinds of shit for it. Yes, you did. Because we had an argument just like this. Hey, if you listen to this, you guys don't listen to her right now. She gave me so much pushback on it. And I was like, no, dude, these are the classics.
Why would he?
But people don't. And that's why I was like, nah, man, people should do this. So anyways.
Well, this goes also into a little bit just like with the whole Taylor Swift thing. She did like a whole Eras tour, so people were wanting that for him too, because they wanted his older songs like on his tour or at Coachella or whatever. So yeah, like what?
But anyways, fast forward, okay? Yeah, but didn't agree with me. So anyways, all these all his sets coming out where it's just him, and he's on like a MacBook and then YouTube and a mic, and that's it, right? And I just started crying because I was like, this is so, it's like, it hit a part of like, oh, because as I'm watching it, he's doing it for him. And he's like, look, and you see little Bieber in the back singing, as grown Bieber singing with his wife there. They got a son. And it's like, he's the same person, but so changed. And him doing these things with the video, that's what, it would be different if he was just singing the song, which it would be great. But the fact that he's playing the video of when he first did some of these songs that made him famous on YouTube, like when he's a tiny, like 12 years old, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's like he's watching himself, and it's like this under subconscious, deep emotional. I'm actually really grateful that these videos exist, and I'm so proud and grateful that I'm on this path. And in his career, he's had his ups and his downs, just like most famous people like that are just incredibly famous. And like this reconciliation, this integration of, and maybe it's because he's a dad now, and it's like, damn, my son is going to be that age too. And why would I not cherish those moments? Why would I not be grateful for those moments? Why would I not love and honor these and continue to sing these things because I'm older now? Just because a person's older doesn't mean you can't cherish. Because so many of us look back at our lives and like, oh, I was so cringe, or I was so and I was so But then we throw those parts of ourselves away. But it's like, why would you throw those parts away? That's what makes us us. And if you learn how to love those parts and continuously cherish them and honor them, you learn how to integrate them into adulthood. Because even as he's singing Baby, for example, his voice is totally different.
Yeah.
But I'm getting so emotional watching it because it's like this. He's having a moment with himself. It's like he would be singing to his son or singing to a 12-year-old Justin. So it's this therapeutic, psychological, emotional integration happening live in front of everybody. And you hear thousands and thousands of people singing these songs. These are the songs that made us fall in love with him. Yeah. Like that, but those were parts of ourself, right? That we love. But we don't do it to ourselves. We want someone else to do it for us, right? Then I'm like, this is so beautiful and incredible and moving and touching. And, you know, this goes into where I think artists, they're always trying to push the boundaries of like what's next. Yeah. But that leaves you out of touch with what, and that's if you run a business, if you're an athlete, if you're a musician, an actor, actress, etc. There is a duty to give what your fans want. That you can't untangle that. But then what happens is if you fly off the rails, you just get yes people instead of saying, hey, like, do a little bit of this. Like, I could have had his whole album full of songs like Daisies and Glory. That's it. Songs like that, and I'm 100% okay. That's why I love Changes so much. Every song on Changes is an absolute banger. And part of all of that was like the reduction piece of like simple. And I saw him when he was on Purpose Tour, and it was incredible. And I remember after the Purpose Tour, I told everyone that was with me, I'm like, this is the closest thing to Michael Jackson we're ever going to get. There's never going to be a superstar like this. And people were like, making fun of me. I'm like, you don't get it. I've been to so many different concerts, and I've seen James Brown in concert, where I'm like, you guys, no. Like, he's in a different atmosphere. And seeing him perform and do the Purpose Tour, I was like, he's the closest. It was a sold-out show. The lights came on at the end, and there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of people losing their mind, right? And part of that is, yes, the performance. Part of that is the artist. Part of that is the era he grew up in, we grew up in, whatever. So then it's like this simplification where it's like, yeah, Bieber, all we really care about is you, bro. I don't need the lights. I don't need the smoke. I don't need none of that shit. Bro, you could just sit here on YouTube and just hang out with the crowd, because there's that intimacy piece where I'm not hiding behind the smokes and the lights and the lasers and the over-the-top performances. It's just me, my heart, my songs, my childhood, and I'm sharing this with all of you in this first time ever I'm at Coachella, and I'm going to do something different because this is really for me in a sense, like, and it's like a thank you. It's just like thank you to his fans, but without having to say thank you, because what would it be like if, as you're an older artist and you go back and you sing your very first single, or he sang one of his very first songs that is what got him discovered on YouTube. Yeah. That's one of the songs that he sang. Yeah. And it's like, bro, this is the most amazing thing ever. Watching the video that we saw with you while you're singing it as a grown man. Like, that's so...
It's a full circle moment.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Because, well, when I saw him in concert too, it was like the big show, the lights, the whole thing, the whole experience, and it was awesome. But I'm excited to see him at Coachella next weekend because he's never headlined before, and headlining at Coachella is like a big deal. So I'm excited to experience that next weekend with like just him and like how he did it this past weekend.
Hopefully he does it
like,
the same way.
Different songs maybe, because I saw something too where he was letting the fans choose some of the songs. Like he was like listening out for what the fans wanted.
Yes.
So
and,
I love like, yeah, it's awesome.
And so then I was thinking about, it was very reminiscent to why would people love Tiny Desk concerts so much. Where they do it like in like a library or whatever it is, the NPR Tiny Desk concert series. I always got to put y'all on. Anyways,
never heard of it.
Shocking. But MTV back in the day used to do this thing called MTV Unplugged, and the artists would perform, but it was all acoustic. And it was incredible. I don't know why they stopped doing that. One of the most famous ones is Nirvana. Another one of the most famous ones is Lauryn Hill. And it's just them, and if they have a couple of their band members, and that's it. And they just are on stools, and they're sitting, they're singing, they're talking to the crowd, and it's just so raw. Yeah. And it was, and that's how I would say NPR Tiny Desk concert even got formed. But anyways, and I'm like, if artists just did that, people would be so incredibly grateful. Because again, the first time you hear these songs, there's not lights and lasers and this whole thing. You're just sitting in your car or your headphones or your living room or by the pool or with your friends. Yeah. You turn on, and it's like, that's all that we want. Yeah. And I remember I went to go see the Yayas. I've seen the Yayas twice. And their most famous song is Maps. And they played an acoustic version, and I cried. It was incredible. But then they played it again regular. So they played it back to back. Okay. And I'm like, this is what, that's why we're here. These are our, how many times you listen to your favorite song and just rewind. Like you could just listen to it over and over and over. It's like, we love that. And it's not to say that artists can't do their own thing and I'm not saying that. Right. But there's a part of artists that I think lose touch with. This is why we love you. And like seeing him do that was just, I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud. It made me like, dude, this is why you're MJ, dude. Like, because you're willing to do something like this in a world that is oversaturated with lights and lasers and smoke and the big performance and all that other stuff. Yeah. We just want to see you. And one of the most sad things that I think, I mean, in my opinion, so I love Smashing Pumpkins. Mm-hmm. And their first album is absolutely incredible. Yeah. And I saw the main singer, I think his name is Billy Corgan or something like that. And he was doing an interview. And the interviewer was asking him to play some of his songs. He's like, I'll never play those songs again. I hate those songs. I hate that song. And I was like, what? Bro, that's great. Like, what are you talking about? You don't want to play these songs no more? Like, what? And same thing, Smashing Pumpkins got so weird, and it's just like, I don't even love you guys no more. You're so far from what you were, and you got lost in trying to be like this fringe, pushing the boundaries that you've now lost touch with what made you you. Yeah. Now, you might get some people that like that. That's totally fine. But ultimately, really, the music's not good. That's why I said his most recent album, it's not good. It's not that he's not good. The album isn't good. And you couldn't change my mind about it. And then I got to listen to people that just get on the Bieber wagon like, oh my God, it's like, have you listened to any of his other albums? This album is not good. It's not a 10 out of 10. Right. That's where I get mad when people can't give artists or genuine feedback. Even to me, if someone's just in here telling me everything I do is great, I'm like, bro, I can't even trust your opinion. Yeah. But if someone gives me real, genuine, like Kenny, gives us genuine feedback, it's like, cool. You're right, because I'm feeling that too, and I can work with that. Yeah. You're 100% right. No, everything's good. Just keep it going. I'm like, bro. But when you get into that yes man circle, that's what happens. And so another like quick example is Daft Punk. They haven't played one more time in 19 years. But Fred again brought one of those guys out on stage, one of the main dudes, and they played it. That's how Fred again closed his concert. And it was the most amazing thing. And this goes into like the hipster thing that I'm like, nah, dude, these new age motherfuckers, they don't really understand like EDM, electronic music, where it fucking came from. You motherfuckers jumped on the bandwagon with just because it was fucking cool. But where were you when this shit first popped off? Right. You thought it was gay. You thought it was dumb. Same thing for me. When I started listening to Bieber, people were like, dude, that's gay. I was like, man, fuck you guys. Like you don't get it. You don't get it. And here we are. Oh my God, Coachella. It's like, bitch, you just fucking got here. Shut the fuck up. Boy, shut your bitch ass up. And but it was like the same thing where when Fred again brought out and they played one more time, I'm like, man, I wish both guys from Daft Punk were here to see. Hey man, I know you guys got your personal beefs, or you guys might get sick of this shit, and you're like, I don't want to play this, blah blah blah. But look at all the love and the joy the people that have just been wanting you to play this for the last 19 years. Look at everyone go psycho, and look how influential your music has been, right? And that's what I loved about Changes so much, because it was like reminiscent of his first albums, but like a more mature way, like all about love and romance. And yeah, you might be 12 or 13-year-old singing it then, but here you are as a grown man singing this album to your wife, like this love letter, this gigantic album love letter, where it's like, yes, and that's how you integrate it. And I just think it was like, oh my God, it's like Hook on stage, but it's Bieber and he's doing this. And I think more artists are going to start doing that, where it's like, yeah, why do I feel like I need to go over the top? And he's like interacting with people on chat, live, on stage. And he was like, okay, what song should I do next? And like everyone was flooding with one of his very first songs he's ever done. And he's like, let's do it. And it's like, yes, like that's what we want, because we love you for that. And it touches a part of our childhood or our younger selves, of like, oh yeah, it's okay to not let those parts of you go, and don't lock them away. Don't punish them. Like, learn to cherish them, repolish them, revivify them, and continue to share them. It doesn't have to be all the time, every day, but like, don't forget about those pieces, because you're singing to parts of us that were like, I never got it. Like, I would have loved if he would have played Baby live, or Never Say Never, or one of the old, I would have loved it at the Purpose. You know what I'm saying? Just one time. Oh my God, dude. Like, please, you know? And, but I love the Purpose album anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But I just was like very, like, that's the power of music. Like, when I saw one of my other favorite artists, Regina Spektor, play, she just had her piano and I was like crying the entire concert. But she played the very first song I ever heard of her play. Like, the very first time I heard Regina Spektor, I was like, dude, who is this lady? And then I didn't see her in concert till like a decade later, 15 years later. And she played that song on the piano. And I cried. And I was like, God, dude, like, thank you so much. Because so many times, and I think rock artists and pop punk, like emo bands, they do a great job of going back and playing their originals. Yes. And I think it's because they're a little bit more in tune with their fans. And playing live instruments is also a lot more fun and engaging. But a lot of the band, like rock bands or emo pop punk bands that I've gone, they always go back and play songs off their very first album, no matter how far away they get from it. And I wish more artists would do that, because it's like, yeah, dude, like, this is, like when I saw James Brown, he was in his 60s and he played Mama's Got a Brand New Bag. I'm like, dude, this is fucking crazy. Like, this song came out, I wasn't even born. Like, yes, you know? And I just think it was just so awesome. And I'm so happy about it. And now I'm like super jealous that you're going, because I didn't know it was going to be like that. Like, you know, because if it was like he's just playing a new album, like, dude, I don't fucking care about that, other than Glory. But and like, he played Daisies, which was one of my favorite songs on the album. He didn't play Yukon, no. And so yeah, man, I just think it was so powerful, and it was like the rescuing of the child self, integrating it, looking back, reflecting of the ups and the downs, but saying, you know what, like, I just want to do this for the fans, you know, and the people that, where are the lights and the dance? It's like, bitch, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, man. That's just oversaturated nonsense. Just give us raw, unfiltered, heart to heart with our boy Beebs. Like, with our boy Beebs. You know what I mean? It's like what everybody needs. And if more artists or bands, as much as we were talking about, like, or any of the over-the-top artists, but if they just reduced it down, we would still love it. And I think it would be more impactful and way more meaningful, you know, to have the acoustic, a cappella, like that. It just makes it, I don't know, makes it more like real in a sense. Like, you're just more connected to be like, oh man, yeah. So anyways, that's my Justin Bieber rant for all you believers out there.
And the fake ones.
And the fake motherfuckers.